full America was, and how I missed it, because there's just, I mean, they have nature over there, but they've basically eaten all their animals. And they don't really, I mean, there's not rivers and valleys, and I would go to bed dreaming about driving to Harrisburg or Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, in my Volvo, and just listening to the radio and put my arms out, you know. I miss that. So I thought, before I go back to America, I'm going to go to Vietnam, where I was born. And so I was preparing for this adventure, because I'd come here in 1975 from Vietnam, and hadn't been back since, so I was 35. It was Christmas Eve, and I thought, I'd done no research. I had no family there that I knew of. And so I got not my iPod, but my iRiver. 60 gigs of music on there, and I got on an airplane. And about, an hour out, I was getting kind of nervous. I'm like, what are you doing on Christmas Eve? Going to Vietnam, where you were born, and then the war, and then the adoption. So I was like, I gotta listen to some music. And I clicked on the iRiver, and there was only one folder there. There was like 80, and that folder consisted of Whitney Houston. It's alright, I'm a cheeseball. I listen to Whitney, I listen to Barry. I'm alright with that. I know the songs. So I'm sitting there alone, listening to Didn't We Almost Have It All? And we're coming down the approach, and I start crying. I mean, not the kind of crying you're just like the kind of crying you're doing at the end of ER, like, I'm like wailing, like your parents took you out of the car and smacked your butt until you're just like, I'm dying. So I land. It's 101 degrees in Vietnam. It was like 10 below in Korea. I'm wearing long johns and a ski jacket. And I'm like, man, I don't know who I am. I don't know what to dress. In America, the weather tells you what to dress like. I mean, you know who you are. You put on a Pet Shop CD, you dress up, you go on. So I go to a hotel, take a cab to a hotel, laying in the hotel, I'm like, I'm having a little stressful situation. Like Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now. Like, do I go out? It's either go out or watch this soccer game that's blurry coming out of Thailand. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have an adventure. I'm gonna rent the biggest motorcycle they have. I'm not gonna get a guide. So I get this motorcycle. It's huge. It looks like a big, beefy Harley. I mean, I'm sitting on it. I'm the biggest guy there in Saigon. And this motorcycle has 50 cc's. So I'm zooming around, and I go to the Cu Chi tunnels, where the 25th Division decided to build their base on top of these tunnels. And so I took a tour of them, and these Australian guys, Australian guys, big, good-looking, always around the world. They're everywhere. And they're so nice. You want to hate them. You're like, but they're so nice. Oh, man, you go in the tunnel first. I'm like, oh, man, no. So I'm like, all right, I got to do this. So I go in the tunnel, and I'm stuck. And these guys, and I'm like, the Vietnamese would have lost this war had I stayed there. So these guys, they're helping me get through the tunnel, and I come out, and that was 105 degrees. I don't know what to wear, I don't know what to put on. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So I get back on my motorcycle, I do about 50 miles per hour down the hill, and that's my adventure. Thanks a lot.
Oh my God, I am so excited. Finally, somebody is making stories relevant to the gift. So you mentioned soccer, so you get a soccer ball. You mentioned a motorcycle, so you also get a motorcycle. And you mentioned old bad music, so we're giving you the cassette cleaner, tape cleaner thing. Yeah. You probably still have one of those. Ladies and gentlemen, Douglas. Judge number 1 scores Mr. Douglas 9/10. This could be a game changer. Judge number We're ready to boo.